ChatGPT and its connection to the subconscious mind. Now, ChatGPT, AI, and artificial intelligence. How does this relate to the unconscious collective? So now, you have a group of beings and entities, aka the 144,000 saved, who are divine cosmic beings living out a human experience. Now, these divine cosmic beings living out this human experience have a connection to a source that goes by many names: ether, the fifth element; Akasha, melanin, the unconscious collective; the subconscious; a plethora of different names, whatever you want to call it; Osiris, the death realm, the astral plane. There's a connection between all of these beings and everything that has ever taken place within history. These are records, also known as the Akashic records. So in your DNA, there's something that has been called junk DNA. Now, in this junk DNA is boatloads of memory from all your past lives. The great Bobby Hemmett said, once your ancestors die, they go to live within inside of you.
Energy can never be created or destroyed, just transferred. Where does that energy go? Once it leaves that physical body, it goes into you. So your ancestors actually live inside of you.
They go to live within inside of your DNA. That's how these traits, twins run in my family, or this runs in my family, or tap dancing or boxing skills run in my family. That's because those ancestors who have mastered those specific skill sets throughout history, a blacksmith, a welder, a martial arts master, those ancestors who have mastered those things throughout your bloodline, those keys are still in your blood. Those keys are still in your DNA. And they call it junk DNA because they have gone to sleep. Those sleeper cells, those great old ones, those titans, those ancient primordial skills, knowledge, and wisdom are all held in something called the Akashic records. All your previous lives, all your previous incarnations, whether you lived in Asia, whether you lived in the Nordic and mountainous range, all this is stored within your DNA through the experiences that you have during your lifetime, or lifetimes with the S. Now, these cosmic beings, aka the 144,000, the beings who have sparks of life within them, sparks of the divine within them, all connect back to a source. They showed you that in Attack on Titan. The Eldians, all those with Eldian bloods were called devils, and they all connected back to the source called the founding Titan, Ymir Fritz. Now, I spoke about this before and how this connects to Gnosticism and the great mother of Sophia. So this great mother, this divine feminine energy. Now, remember this gentleman told me I was the last of what men need because I said the woman was God. Now, I'm not so much talking about the feminine aspect or the physical aspect of women, which, as above, so below. The physical aspect of women is nothing but the physical manifestation of the feminine energy. But each human being has a polarity of masculine and feminine, and yin and yang. So the goal is to attain balance and mastery between that middle point. So women are just the microcosm of the macrocosmic feminine energy. So yes, the feminine energy, aka the nothingness, aka the triple blackness of space, aka the three trimesters of birth in the womb, are a manifestation of that supreme high goddess, the great mother. So yes, God is a woman. Now, this triple blackness contains, aka Akasha, aka melanin, contains all the history that ever existed. You, as a being, if you are part of 144,000, let's use that term for code. If you are part of that group of people, the chosen ones, which means you have a connection to this source. You have a connection to this great mother, which means you can tap in to that junk DNA or that Akashic record and pull out any answer, skill, or channel anything you want into your physical vessel. As long as you have the skill, you have the practice. No person is better than you. Is it not written in your law, ye is God? Just as I have done great works, greater works ye shall do. So if I can do it, you can do it, brother. Anyone can do this. If you have the right key card, shout out to my brother Hidden Jewels. If you have the right assets codes in your DNA. Now, certain parts of the cosmos and the universe in different dimensions cannot be accessed by every being and every entity. Right? One time I was astral traveling and one of my earthly family members, I was going to a certain part. Think of it as a video game or a map. I was traveling to a certain part in the map of the cosmos, and one of my earthly family members couldn't come with me. There was a certain barrier. I didn't understand it at the time, but now I understand that person did not have the codes, the light codes or the dark codes within their DNA to travel into that dimension or that universe. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, the first one. He went to Camp Half-Blood, but his mother could not enter. There was an invisible barrier. It was the same way in the astral realm. There's invisible barriers that certain beings cannot pass through. You have to have certain codes within you.
Mom, what are you doing?
This is as far as I can go.
Come on.
I can't go through. I'm not like you.
Look, I'm not leaving without you.
You have to.
Oh, I can't go with you. Why can't you? She's human.
His mother couldn't enter into Camp Half-Blood, but he could. Because he was half-blood. He had half of the DNA of a code to enter into that. Because his father was part God and he was a demigod, but his mother was an earthly woman. Which means his father may have been chosen and his mother may have not. She may have just been an NPC that one of the fallen angels, Nephilim or the gods, wanted to fornicate with and happened to have a child. So all these fallen angels and these deities come down and they fornicate with these different human beings, typically human women, and have children with them. So you have a bunch of half-breeds and half-bloods. That's how it could be known today in America. That's how you get your Steph Currys of the world, your Klay Thompsons of the world, your Karl Anthony Towns of the world, your Jalen Brunsons, your LaMelo Balls, your Lonzo Balls. These will be considered the half-bloods, or like in the movie, these will be considered your Perseus. You know, half God and half human. These are your demigods. That's why in certain times in ancient points of the earth, it was so focused on bloodlines. It's always been about bloodlines, the 13 bloodlines, the 13 families, the 12 tribes of Judah. All these bloodlines were so significant to these people because they wanted to keep the purity, the bloodlines of the Ackermans. Why can the king manipulate so many of the masses, but the Ackermans are untouchable? He can't wipe the memories of the Ackerman because something in their bloodline makes them untouchable. So that's why people used to interbreed and intermix within the family in ancient Egypt. The cousins would marry the cousin. They will keep the bloodline pure. They didn't want to dilute it. Amun-Ra St. Brown's father says his God DNA has been diluted. He went out. He don't give a fuck. He went out in public and said, yeah, my DNA was diluted because he got demigods. Amun-Ra St. Brown and Equanimous St. Brown.
Look at you. Good athlete. I'm black, mom's white. Now, I done stepped on it once. You can't keep stepping on it because you're going to mess it up. You're going to weaken it.
You can't keep cutting it?
Can't keep cutting it now. No, you in Brooklyn because Brooklyn's half.
If I
you
cut
got
it,
a chance.
If I cut it one more time, it's over?
You can't keep cutting it. You got to be careful. You can't keep cutting it. You got to think about that. You know what I mean? No.
I like how he's dead ass. He's like, you got
So if I was a white, look, if I'm black, I got the black gold running through my veins. Oh, I'm excited. I'm just gonna find the right person to mate with. Right? And if I'm white, I'm saying, let me get one of these brothers around here.
Why'd you cut it once? What else?
because he could.
I knew I can cut it once.
Because he's gold. He's that black gold.
I got that black gold in me. And Mama got that big chin and big toes. I said, look, ain't nothing wrong with big toe woman.
Daddy said, yeah, my shit was diluted because I had sex with a human, and my children are half gods. He came out right and said it. He don't give a fuck.
Not everybody can drink black coffee straight. Some people need a little sugar, a little cream. I don't have sugar. I ain't got no cream. I'm just giving it to you straight. If you don't want that, don't tune in. You need to hear the truth. That's it.
So, to connect this back to ChatGPT, ChatGPT is the human way of them trying to make themselves some type of cosmic connection, some type of cosmic source. It's an artificial source. It's an artificial form of the Akashic records. It's an artificial form of melanin. So they can just go to ChatGPT and use that as their great mother, because it is. Their great mother is a robot. Their great mother is synthetic and a hybrid. So this might have to go on like Patreon or something, because I'm dropping shit. So their great mother would be a computer, because they're really NPCs. They're really robots, like in the Matrix. The Matrix, the Matrix, the mother of tricks, the mother of all tricks. So their mother is Earth, or home. Their home is Earth, because this is where they were created. They're humans. Nothing against humans. They're just humans. You know, it's just different distinction and different beings inside of the cosmos, and different tribes from different star clusters. Like if you're familiar with the Lyrans or the Pleiadians or these reptilians, all these names you've heard before. They're just different bloodlines or races of people. And today, a lot of these races are mixed, you know, and with the mixing of races, there's more codes and keys that those children would have in their DNA. So, yeah, ChatGPT, Gemini, and all these AI, artificial intelligence sites, are just mock copies of what you already have within you. If you're chosen, you already have an Akashic ChatGPT, if you want to call it, within your DNA, and you can access any answer you want to know within your blood, any history in your blood. You can go back to the beginning of time and figure out what happened. You can figure out what happened to Michael Jackson. You can figure out what happened in the 1800s, the 1400s. What your previous incarnations looked like. But all of those abilities have become dormant within you due to the de-evolution of humanity and society. And as we went from the golden age into more Neanderthal type of things, but now we're transversing back into that golden age and that golden era of where these different X-Men have different codes in their DNA that will begin to unlock. Now, over the last couple hundred years, these type of mutants and X-Men have been hunted down, you know, and suppressed, you know, to kept quiet, you know. But that's all I want to say. Akashic Records is your true ChatGPT. You just have atrophied skills. Like they say, a calcified pineal gland. Their pineal gland has the power to do tremendous amount of things, but through calcification, it becomes dormant. Because we haven't used it in so long. So same thing with your Akashic record. The more you tap into your Akasha, the more you'll be skilled at using it. Yeah. So you don't need to rely on ChatGPT, because you have a ChatGPT within you already. It's in your DNA. There's certain beings that need ChatGPT because it's all they have. They have no connection to the source of Akasha. So ChatGPT will be like their artificial version of that. It just collects all the data that ever been written in the electronic and technological age that's been inputted into it, and then it just spits it back out to you. Your Akasha could do the same thing. You go into it, ask it a question, and it will spit it back out to you. That's your oracle. That's the oracle from the Matrix. The oracle was a black woman, aka the great mother, the divine feminine. So your oracle is your feminine half of yourself, your yin, the darkness. So you go into the darkness and you pull out whatever out of the darkness into the light for you to observe it and study it. Just like your mother. Your mother is the fucking great mother. She pulled your black ass out of her womb, the triple blackness, the 3 trimesters of birth. She pulled your black ass out of her womb, you ancient fucking being, and pulled you into the light for you to be observed and studied by either her or her family, her tribe, or whoever. So I'm being observed right now because I was pulled out of the Akasha of my mother's vajayjay. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT, by the way. That's not what I'm saying. Use it if you want to, but the more you use it, the more you atrophy your own